get in! Sunderland have got their first 3 points of the season in absolutely amazing fashion as well. And Ellis Sims, they say don't fall in love with loanies. Don't fall in love with players you've got in on loan. And 3 minutes it took. 3 minutes until that man grabbed my heart and battered it into the back of that Bristol City goal. What a game. As you can tell, I've been like a caged animal. I was at work yesterday watching the game, and I've just been caging up these emotions and this excitement and this energy for this exact moment so I can press record and just go ape shit on your screen. What a game though, guys. What a game. I could sit here and just say everything's amazing, but obviously it wasn't the perfect performance. Of course it wasn't, and that's what these reviews are about. But for the opening 10-15 seconds, get in! Come on! Absolutely buzzing. Hit the like button. Do it now. If you don't, a puppy will die. Probably a bit much. Sorry. I think this is the kind of energy you're going to get every time we win a game in the Championship. I do apologise. I'm just so happy, guys. I'm so happy. But yeah, so getting into the game against Bristol City. So we started off with Pato in goal. We had Sirkin, we had Bart, we had Bollard, we had Gooch, we had Pritchard, we had Neil, Evans, Clark, Stewart and Sims starting up top alongside each other. And I thought to myself, if we play the three at the back system, we're going to struggle here. We're going to struggle because the three at the back system we've seen when we tried to sort of tamper with it a little bit in pre-season, I think we looked really, really poor. We actually struggled to get into the final third. So I thought, regardless of who we've got up top, we're going to struggle. And they did kind of prove me wrong a little bit. I said it on Twitter. I had to eat my words immediately because we clearly worked on it. But we'll get into the game. So the opening sort of 3, 4, 5 minutes, as you guys will know, we got the goal and the press, they were so shaky at the back, and Ellis Sims and Stewart together, we'll go into a bit more detail later on, but they're just bullies, aren't they? They're absolute bullies, the big brutes, the big strong lads anyway, with a bit of pace. And Sims, straight away, there was balls that generally if you just get thrown in behind when we're hoofing the ball away, people, there's players like Stewart might have been guilty for it in the past, that he might just think, okay, it's too far for me that. But early doors, I think it was like 90 seconds in, if that, a ball was just pumped over the top. And he thought he's not getting anywhere near that. The defender's got like 10 yards on him. And then Ellis Sims just bursts out of nowhere and beats him to the ball. And you just think, shit, we've got a player on our hands here. Do you know what I mean? So we were pressing him. And there was a good 3 chances and 3 occasions within literally the opening 6-7 minutes where we actually nicked the ball off him or we forced them into an error and we actually wasted it apart from the goal. So, of course, the first goal, we win it back off them after they make a mistake. Ellis Sims is in, on the edge of the box. I'm screaming from to late into Dhannoo, who was completely free. But instead, and this is a striker's instinct, this is what strikers do, he's just drilled it. He's hit it early, didn't let the keeper set himself, and he's hit it from the edge of the box into the bottom left-hand corner. And, it sends us absolutely mental, sends the fans crazy. The Sunderland fans that were absolutely amazing that went down there, sends them into absolute delirium. And me in the staff room at work, into absolute delirium. Yeah, so that one goes into the bottom corner. But like I say, I think there's another couple of moments where we did similar things, but we were so wasteful. Where we get the press, Stewart might nick it off him, or I think it was Pritchard as well. We nicked it off him, and it was like 3-on-2 in our favour. But then people might not see it as like a huge chance because then we'd immediately miscontrol it and give the ball away, or the pass would be in behind rather than in front of the player. And that happened a couple of times, and I thought, we could be 3-0 here if we actually just took advantage of this, and we could be made to pay because these are massive chances without even a shot being taken. Do you know what I mean? Because we kept nicking it off them at the back and then just really sort of being a bit wasteful. But then they started to wake up, and we knew it was going to happen. It was god-awful defending. Now, I mean, god-awful defending. And for the first half, in particular, Lyndon Gooch was abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And, to be fair, he's not a right back. In a million years, particularly if you're doing this compact sort of back four, what he kept on doing, he kept on getting sucked into the play, either it being into the centre of midfield or the centre of defence. When someone like Bart or Bollard, you can see that Bollard knows, if there's a player just behind Bollard, you need to trust that he knows that he's there, and then Gooch needs to go and touch his man on the opposite side. But instead, he gets sucked into it, and sometimes you'll find balls that are being floated into the box, and Gooch is going for the same ball as Bollard, and Bart at the same time, leaving 2 players behind him completely free because he's getting sucked into the play. His positional awareness was horrible, which I know is really, really harsh. But it was true. It's true. Yeah, I'm buzzing we won, but I'm not going to shy away from giving players you know, bits of criticism that didn't need to be given. You know, I'm not going to lie because we won. But yeah, for the first goal, Lyndon Gooch, he tries to play an offside trap in the most ridiculous of places. And at first, I did actually think it may have been offside, but when you look back at it, Lyndon Gooch just left his man and just thought, oh shit, actually I'm going to play the offside trap. And it was terribly executed. Weimann with the touch, he dummies his man, dummies Ballard, and puts it in the bottom corner past Patterson to make it 1-1. But yeah, in that first half, there was some very, very shaky moments. We were playing on the counter-attack, and when we did go forward, to the credit of the lads, we know, I think for the first sort of half an hour or so, I think Pritchard wasn't really in the game. Evans and Dhannoo, very, very poor. They were non-existent, really. You know, going down the wings, your Sirkin looked quite shaky at times, so it was just constantly just Bart and Ballard that were constantly having to come and save the day. Or at least somewhat, you know, with it being clearances, because Sirkin was getting taken on really easily. Gooch just was Gooch. And so there were just so many opportunities where they could get it down to the byline so easy and just drill balls into the box. It was happening time and time again. Really good chances without really testing Pato, I'll have to admit. But they were making so many half chances without really testing Pato, as I say. But when we were breaking forward, it was some really good chances, you know. Sims and Stewart, there's a couple of times where Sims should I say, he would cut him from left to right, and he should maybe just slot it into Stewart. And obviously he's got his adrenaline and momentums with him, and he'll go for goal himself. You can see that Stewart is cutting a very, very frustrated figure. But again, I think in time, those two will gel very, very well, because they were an absolute nightmare to deal with. They were just a constant press, and just the big brick shithouses that they are. You know, he's such a strong lad, Sims. You know, you got the bouncing balls, and he's so good at shielding the ball, keeping hold of it, and sticks to him, bringing others into play. He's very, very good at that, Sims, as is Ross Stewart, of course. But to have two of them up there, even though they have two different sort of skill sets, it can be very, very dangerous. I just don't see how we can go for any other partnership now up top. You know, I don't see how we can go for anything other than Ross Stewart and Ellis Sims up top after that game. It's one game and I seem to be getting excited. But, you know, if you even add more quality around them or in the middle of the pitch, then my God, this could actually be a better team than I thought. And, of course, we need to sort things out at the back. But, yeah, so it went into half-time, 1-1. Second half, we come out and we look naive. They're coming out strong. And it was just a simple 1-2 down their right-hand side. And then it's the sort of easy give and go. Pritchard didn't really follow his man. It's been dinked over the top. They get to the byline. Driven across goal. It looks like a combination of either Chris Martin or Danny Bartley gets the touch. People have argued that Pato was fouled, but I think it kind of happened after the ball was sort of crossing the line. It looked like Martin just dragged him to the floor. But it was bundled home anyway, 2-1. And it was probably deserved as well because they really did come out flying. And in the first half as well, they looked the more dangerous. But immediately, literally 2-3 minutes later, we get the equaliser. And of course, it is Ellis Sims again. And my God, you know, on the ball, what it was, Pritchard, and this is when you just start to realise how good a player Pritchard is. He's an absolute baller, is that man. You know, he's got the ball, and the way he's done it, sort of first time, he just bends it sort of in between the defenders and perfectly lines Sims to be one-on-one with the keeper. And I thought the chance had gone because he was kind of stumbling, sort of stumbling over the ball a little bit. It looked like he was dragging it to the side when he should have gone straight forward. And he thought, the chance has gone, but he's kind of cut back inside and almost sort of prodded it through the legs of one defender who's trying to scupper back to get the ball. It's gone through his legs and the keeper's legs as well. So it's a double nutmeg. It's a double for Ellis Sims, and it is 2-2. And the fans again had me at work, going absolutely crazy. And from then on, we actually started to control it for a large part of that second half, and we looked very, very dangerous. The likes of Neil and Evans started to push forward a little bit and get more involved in the play and started to press a bit more rather than they just kind of, I don't know what it was with them. They were just non-existent in that first half, and their midfield just ran the show in the first half. We had nothing. We've shown absolutely zero, zilch in the first half, in the middle anyway. But yeah, so we keep on going. We're making chances. Sims should have got himself a hat-trick. He did everything right. It has to be said. And it's a cracking save by Bentley in goal. I think it was Clark who gets it to the byline, as he did so many times. And Clark, I have to say, was phenomenal. Not only going forward, but his defensive work as well. It was non-stop. And there's footage of him when he came off the pitch when he did get subbed. We did make substitutions with Embleton came on as well. Leslie made a late appearance. But there's footage of Clark off the pitch, proper cheering the lads on just before the final whistle. And you could see how much it means to him. You know, and I think he's going to become a fan favourite for me because I think he looked a little bit shaky at times when he first joined on loan last season. Then he started to prove his worth towards the last stage of the season. But I think this lad can grow with us, and he looks absolutely excellent. He does, you know, he used to be, when he first came to us, he used to be obsessed with cutting inside. He had to go with his right foot. But now he's driving to that byline and smashing balls and drilling balls across goal. with his left foot, and it's so dangerous. And he did that, and they come to Ellis Sims, probably 6, 7, 8 yards out maybe, opens himself up what should be 3-2 at that point, but Bentley spreads himself, makes an excellent save, and they manage to get the ball away. But the moment does come eventually. It is Clark. He gets it again down to the byline, stops at the ball, gives it back to Pritchard, who whips in an excellent cross, inch-perfect cross on Ross Stewart. When he's in that position, the ball is in swinging like that. 9 times out of 10, Ross Stewart's going to beat you in the air, and he's headed it, and it's looped over the keeper. It's 3-2, and the word delirium. Here's the absolute word delirium. And then, to be fair, we kept pushing. We could have made even more chances, but then for the final sort of 5 minutes or so, and then stoppage time, which was another 5 minutes, it was all Bristol, and we were asking for it. There was scrambles in the box. There was time it fell to their, I think it was their midfielder just inside the area, and the only thing that was stopping the ball going into the back of the net was Bollard with an inch-perfect block, absolutely inch-perfect. Otherwise, it would have been 3-3. It would have been Bristol Bull again, but the opposite way around. But it was an excellent defensive block. It reminded me a little bit of a Catamol. It was a Catamol-esque block, but it was absolutely excellent. And we managed to see the game out. We absolutely managed to see the game out. And I think in the end, over the course of it, it might have been just about deserved. But yes, at the end, still the end of the game, excellent, absolutely buzzing. Do anything to get the 3 points in this division, you know. Because you could see the way we play and how intense these games are. You can see it against Coventry, we see it against Bristol City. Every single game has the intensity of a cup final. And it's going to for us. And we need to cope with that. Alex Neil was saying that in his interview afterwards, you know. You feel like you've just run a marathon after every single game of the Championship because of the quality and the intensity that is needed from start to finish if you want to be successful. So we can't just, just sort of go away and think, right, we've done it now, we've got our first 3 points. You need to keep going, you need to build yourself back up and go again. And that's just the quality, and that's what the quality of this league forces you into doing. It forces you to remain that intense. And I'm looking forward to it, to see if the lads can be up to the task. But it's an excellent win that I'm going to bask in, absolutely. Now, in terms of what we absolutely need a right back. 100%, or at least a full-back or even 2 full-backs, because we cannot live with Gooch on that right-back position, because as much as Bristol City are a dangerous side, they finished 17th last year, and with a better side, we could have been tortured yesterday with how all over the place we were at the back. We were absolutely all over the place at times. You know, as soon as they get the ball to the byline, ping a ball in, it's just chaos. It's absolute chaos, and the holes that are all over each side. Sirkin will improve. I do like Sirkin. I know he can be a little bit dodgy at times. He does like to bring the ball forward, which I like. And he's just quite inconsistent, Sirkin. 1 minute he's fine, the next he's a bit all over the place. But Gooch, yes, he can do a job going forward, and he can try and out-muscle plays. And to his credit, Lyndon Gooch, he improved massively in the second half. But first half, positionally, it was a horror show. It was an absolute horror show from Lyndon Gooch. But we need that. We need 1, maybe even 2 central midfielders easily that can just get a foothold in the game. Someone who isn't shy, to get the ball in dangerous areas, who can pick it up from deep and turn and move and just look after the ball, because I don't think we have that. Evans at times is okay at it, but you'd forget he was on the pitch in that first half for moments anyway. And Dan Neil, as much as everyone hypes up Dan Neil, as much I'm one of his biggest fans, Dan Neil, but he was the same. He could have been accused of shying away a little bit. So yeah, I think we just need someone like a Panucci Kamara, like we saw, like I've mentioned before, someone like that who could just really dominate and get a foothold in that midfield, because we are a bit soft at times. And I know in my preferred 11s, in my previews, I generally go for a more attacking central midfield, and it isn't necessarily the most aggressive and physical set. But that's because I just want us the best chance going forward, because I know what we like at the back, if that makes sense. But yeah, so my man of the match, I could very easily go for Clark, Pritchard, Bollard even. But it's got to be Sims. It's got to be Sims. I do want to say Pritchard, because he's got a couple of assists, and he was instrumental after that first sort of half an hour where our midfield were kind of non-existent. He was the start of absolutely every attack we had, and he was phenomenal. But given it was his debut, and he got himself a brace, and how good he looked, and he partnered with Stewart, I'm going to give it to Ellis Sims. Also a massive shout out to Ross Stewart, because for him to make the step up to the Championship and score in the first game, that will do him the world of good to just show, I am good enough for this league. Of course, 1 goal doesn't necessarily determine that, but you know what I mean? I'm buzzing for him. But that is my review of the game. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And who was your man of the match? Are you buzzing? If so, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. But for now, take care and stay jamming.